Okay, so we'll be dealing about here SAP GRC audit management. So so SAP GRC audit management in this module especially we are dealing about how the audit management module or the process we can incorporate into the GRC system, and for that especially this module is about. And this SAP audit management especially is 4 weeks minimum. So every day 1 hour, 5 day week if we go, so it will go for the 4 weeks. So that is the duration of the course, and mostly like we'll be starting this course from uh, coming Thursday or Friday, Thursday, Friday mostly, and the time will be like 10 p.m. India time to 11 p.m. India time. That would be the time for this, and in this course like we'll be giving you the server access and step by step document also, so that you are able to follow that document and able to configure that SAP audit management, GRC audit management. So that is the core idea behind that. And in this course, let's see what are the topics we are covering, and and how we can go for this SAP audit management. Okay. So, so the core idea here is like SAP is given audit management module for the organization. So, if they have any audit process, because every company by law has to do the audit, and maybe they will be doing some internal audit, for example, yearly or by monthly, by 6 monthly, for example, half-yearly. I mean, so how they have to do that and how to capture the information, how the process will be going, so that yes, respective managers or the risk owner or internal audit team has to manage this their audit using this SAP GRC audit management module. So to do this, like they have to do some configurations, and once we do the configuration, this audit management module help them to perform the audit in a better manner. And then if any external auditor is there and they want to see some evidence, or in the case if you want to improve some of the audit process, so you can utilize this module and to increase your performance for the audit and remove the risk from the organization. So that is the core idea behind it, to use your audit management module. Okay. So that is thing. Okay.
Hello?
So that is the
Hello?
core idea behind it, how you can go
Hello?
for this SAP audit management module. And in this module, like first we'll be talking about in SAP introduction. So introduction about like normal SAP audit management, what is the specific transactions and Fiori application related to the SAP GRC audit management is there, what is the SAP audit management role is there. So SAP have provided some roles, so we can use those roles and copy that role and create our roles for the respective people who will be there in the audit management module. Okay. So this will be covering in the basic SAP audit management module part. Okay. So hi Kati, hi Bhavesh. So so that will be dealing in this module. And then to perform this SAP audit management master data, so there will be some master data we have to create before performing any audit structure. So we'll be going for the organization unit. Okay, so this we have to define, and the organization hierarchy and organization units we have to define. For that we have to perform the audit. So the idea for defining organization unit, like in any of the organization, you have the different departments will be there, different plants may be there. So based on your requirement, like suppose you have the finance department, for example, you will be doing the audit maybe quarterly, for example. And maybe if you have maybe purchase department, maybe half yearly you will be doing the audit. So based on your different department, different plant, there might be a different strategy for doing the audit. So if any plants is there, maybe audit strategy is little different. Maybe you will be doing the operational related audit to the plant, whether it is doing correct operation according to the law, according to the company policies or not. So that you have to match. In case if you are going for the IT related or IT security audit, for example, so you'll be dealing like all the IT related security is in place, all the process has to be followed or not, right? So for that, you first define like which are the organization on which you will want to do the audit. Okay. Maybe if you have the training department, may not be the training department is so critical to do the audit like every quarterly or every half yearly. So maybe you will be doing maybe yearly, right? So based on that, first you define the organization hierarchy in the system, and then you will be maintaining a risk register. So this is one of the important thing to maintain a risk register. So the idea here, based on the different organization hierarchy, different type of risk will be available for that organization. Maybe if the plant is there, the different type of risk is there. If you have the finance department, where there will be different type of risk is there. If you have the IT security, the different type of risk is there. So based on the different organization, different type of risk is there that you have to include into your system. So that later, like you have to use this risk register to map your organization, like in which organization which are the different type of risk there. So for that, first you have to define the different type of risk into the system that will be used as a master data for defining a audit management module. And then also you have to define a control. So the control and risk have a relation between each other. So the idea here, if suppose you say that whenever you are providing a access to the user, you will be defining a process that whenever you create any ID or providing any access to the user, it has to approve from your manager, right? It has to run the risk. You have to do the risk analysis, for example, and then only you have to create the ID. So this is a kind of like process is there, and to check the process, you will be having a control. So you will validate whether your control is in the place or not. So means the control maybe you can create into the GRC system, or the control maybe you can create outside the system, or maybe the control you can may use as a manual thing. Okay, so manually you can review that control, which is not possible by the system level. Then you can go for the manual control. But the control you have to define as a steps, so to control the risk or to minimize the risk. So that is the idea about the control. Then we are talking about the dimension. So the dimension is like in some case you can say dimension maybe the department or the business process will be an example for your dimension. So like if you say your dimension is a finance as a dimension, so you will be doing the risk, you will be doing the control, you will be finding the audit or doing the audit in the business process finance. So whatever the organization comes under the finance domain or the business process, that will be your dimension. So based on your criteria, it may be the dimension will be the business process, dimension may be the plant, dimension may be the location. So you can define the dimension also in the system. All right. So that is the core idea. This is the master data which will be used while defining the audit planning. All right. So that is the core idea behind the master data. So this is the first thing that we do into the system so that it will be used while defining your audit. And then like in audit, there are specific phases are there. Like we have the audit planning phase. So in the audit planning phase, you have two important thing here. Audit universe we call here, and the audit plan is there. So what is the meaning of audit universe here? So audit universe, like what are the auditable items is there. So once we say auditable item, like within a business process, if you say like account payable process is there that you want to use for the audit management, then the HR payment process is there, like a payroll process is there. So this will be something like a auditable item examples are there. So all the items on which you want to perform the audit, we call as a auditable item. So this is one of the primary thing that you have to define on which items you want to perform the audit. So those processes you have to list down, and all this you have to include into your system, so that while performing audit, you can utilize each of the auditable item in the audit. Okay. So that is the core idea behind the auditable item. All right. So any question till this point by anyone? Anything? Okay. So once you define the audit,
Because
yeah,
that means whatever the audit controls that need to be built in the business, we are going to build in GRC audit management, SAP GRC audit management, right? According to that, we are
mhm,
maintaining, is it functional or technical?
correct. Functional,
Oh,
technical, operational, different type of audit is there. So, or maybe
yeah,
environmental safety audit is there, for example, right? So, different type
mm,
of audit applicable for different organization based on their business. Those will be designed into this audit management module.
yeah,
Okay. So that is the idea. Maybe for the plant, the operational audit comes into picture, or maybe like they have to follow the certain laws, like a fire safety process they have to follow. They have to make a follow the process, like the labor or the worker who is working in the plant. They have to wear the helmet, right? They have to wear a specific suits, right? Where this different type of, you can say, radium color will be mentioned there, so that, or red color or orange color suit they have to wear, right? So there are specific processes there, so they will be validating these process whether it is followed or not. Otherwise government will put the fine on them, right? They have to put the fire safety law, the equipment, fire safety equipment they have to keep, right? Evacuation plan they have to keep, right? And they have to keep like other safety measures, right? So those are this is just an idea for you. So different within an organization also, like different type of audits will be performed. Okay. So
yeah,
so then, like once you define the audit universe, then you have to define an audit plan. So audit plan is like, suppose you want to do the audit is quarterly or half yearly. So first you define a plan. Okay, I want to do the quarterly audit, for example. So in the system, you define the plan. Okay, this is the plan for me, and within that plan, these are my items. Is there like 4 item, 5 item? Just example, I'm saying. So you can club this 5 item and say that okay, in this quarter we have to do this 4 item. We have to do the audit. Okay, as per the law or as per the company policy. You define the audit law, then in the defining, like you can plan that how many person will be involved in the audit, what is the specific time will be required to perform the audit, right? And then who are the resources, what are the resources, their effort is there, how much price is required, because effort comes with the price, right? So how much price will be there to perform this audit, right? Who will be the person or owner who will be owning this audit, right? Who will be the reviewer is there who can review the audit, right? And then like your member, board of member, or someone from the higher authority, they will be getting the result, right? And then in between you will be having an auditor also, right? Who will be reviewing the result of the audit, and then he will be giving his result in case if any findings are there. So he will be capturing these findings, and also they will proposing the solution also, how to overcome the audit findings, right? So this is the complete process of the your audit, and then audit will be once auditor will be review and approve the audit result, then the audit result will be released to the higher management. Okay, and the higher management call is there how to overcome this findings. Okay, so that is a complete process anyhow, and to overcome the complete process, first we have to define that audit plans. Okay, and then after everything is fine, then you have to release the audit plan. And in case once you release the audit plan, then it has to go to audit manager. Audit manager review that, and then if he feels something is not correct, he will resend the audit for the audit clerk, for example. So he will again see that item, he can update that and again send for approval. Once your audit plan has been approved, then it's sent to the audit for the auditor or the audited, so to perform the audit. Okay, so like in that he will see that okay, the audit will be initiated. Okay, so audit will be initiated there. Then the person can see okay, what are the audit is assigned to him and what are the action he has to perform. He will track the ongoing audit, and in case if you feel that okay, this audit is not required, so sometime it can be cancelled. And then if audit will be performed, he can perform the audit, and while performing audit, he can see that like the audit resources also we can use the audit resources, like on their profile we can see that who are the person who is performing the audit, what is his profile, what is his qualification is there, so what is the rates are there. He will mention the recording, the time, like how much effort once the audit is start, so the person will be keeping their timing also, right? So those you can see, and after that you send the audit announcement, like once everything will be dealt with you, like you can see that who are the person who is doing the audit initiation, and what is the person who is doing the audit, what is the rate is there, he can able to record the timing. So all this has happened, then you prepare for the audit, and the audit announcement will be there. So the person who is involved in this audit, like somebody who will be doing the audit, performing the audit, and some other person like who will be providing the evidence also to the auditor, right? So both person effort will be required, correct? So after that only, like once you announce the audit, the each of the people know that okay, this audit will be starting, and they have to perform their work. Like auditor also perform their work, their effort is there to capture the audit result, and then they will be asking the question. So the audit will be like based on the questions also, based on the verification also, by having a specific process, they will validate the process whether it is followed or not, and then audit will be starting. So they will be capturing this audit work. Okay, they will process the audit, they will calculate the question score, they will do the findings, and after that they will plan that how the audit uh, planning will be there. So after comparing the audit, so after that only they will go for the next one. So in that audit execution, like they will prepare the audit document. Okay, they perform the audit procedure, calculate the question score, and they will use audit findings also. So in case if they want to do the audit and they find the audit findings, so what is the action plan, how to remove the findings from the organization, so that audit they in the real audit like there will be no findings. Okay, so that on that they have to work. So once the audit preparation or execution will be happen, then they will track the findings. So that comes into the follow-up. So they will track the findings also, and then they will assign these findings to some person. They have to close the audit findings during a certain period of the time. That is their responsibility. And once they close the audit findings, then your audit will be finished. Okay. Uh, so they will track that action plan, and that they said that with this 3 months they will be completing that audit findings. And in case if any historical findings are there also, so they can open and see that okay, if similar type of audit findings are there, how to close the findings, so that they will track it in the follow up, and the person has to follow up if it is not closed. And after that, you will be preparing audit report. So once you prepare the audit report, the final audit report, it has to be reviewed. Once the audit report is reviewed and auditors will agree with that, then the person will be issue the audit report. They will release the audit report uh, for all the participant or the organization, and then the audit process closes. Okay, so that is the complete process. So in this, like, these are the main phases are there. One is like your uh, audit preparation or planning phase. First of the planning phase is there. So in the planning phase, you will capture the auditable item, especially that you can consider. So once you consider all the auditable items, the dates, and the effort, the people, and then you send this audit plans to your person or audit manager to approval. Once the audit manager approve that with the time, and he can check all the timing, who are the person who will be coming into this audit effort. Then from here, you send this approval, and from here you can prepare it. So after planning, if it's ready, then you prepare for the audit. Preparing in the sense, it's not that you plan the audit and audit is start. So you have to prepare the audit also. For preparing audit, like, you have to prepare for the questions. You have to define the process, like what are the like a specific process you want to validate. So you prepare for the audit. If it is a finance audit, maybe you can prepare finance related questions to the each of the team. If you are going for operational audit, you will be going for the operation related process and questions to validate. In case if you want to certify any certificate, so that you will certify the certificate also. So the preparation wise means you prepare how to capture the audit questions or audit findings, right? And then only you start the execution. So execution wise, you go to the, like, plant, you capture the information, you calculate the question score, and you mention your findings, and then only, like, after finding, what is the action plan. So those is execution. So follow up comes with the audit findings. So only for the audit findings you have to follow up, so that the findings will be closed. So that is about the follow up. And then the next thing is reporting. So once the planning is there, follow up is in place, then you must prepare the reporting, and then we prepare the report and issue the report after the review. Okay, and then, like, managed working paper is there. So managed working paper is like, uh, so like, to capture this information, like, after the audit will be closed, then you can see that in case if you want to reuse any specific process, so that you can reuse in a next audit, so that working paper you can use. Okay, so that is the purpose of this managed working paper. So these are the core steps that we'll be covering into the audit management. Okay, and that we do into the system. So maybe I will take you somewhere. So by now, any question by anyone? So this is the, like, a flow chart, like how the business process work for that. So, like, one we have like a planning phase, preparation phase, execution phase, and then uh, after execution, like, you will be doing some two more steps is there. Like, after execution, you have the follow up and findings, and then finally reporting. So these are the phases is there that we'll be using into the uh, like a complete audit cycle. Yeah, so let me show you something. Okay, so these are right now, like, only three steps is showing to you now. So, like, first is the planning phase, after preparation and execution. So these three steps is especially for like till here execution phase. After execution, two more phases there. That is like a follow. and after follow-up, preparing a reports, the audit reports. So these 5 phases we are building into the system. Happen. For doing that, many people will be involved in, like chief audit executive is there, audit manager is there. So these two people is there who will be using. Then you have something like an audit lead is there, who will be preparing and announcing the audit. And then you have the audit lead and auditors will be there who will be executing the audit and reviewing the audit report after the execution of the audit. And after that, you will be releasing this audit report to the chief audit executive, and he will be like informed, and he will be the main person who is initiating the audit in their department. Okay, so this is how the process works. So initially, like in planning phase, the manager will be like initiate and plan the specific audit, and it has to assign to the specific chief audit executive. Once he feel everything is okay, then he will initiate the audit. And once he initiate the audit, it will comes to the preparation phase. And the preparation phase, like the audit lead, he will means he will what he will do, he will submit that information. Okay, these many resources there, these are the date, this is the effort is there. He will send this information to the audit manager for the review. Once he says that okay, it is approved, then then if he say that like it is approved, then he will approve this audit plan. And after audit plan will be released, then he will prepare the audit work also, and he will approve and distribute that. So this audit lead also prepare this audit work also, like what are the questions are there, what is the like process has to be followed, and that also will be reviewed by the audit manager, and he will approve or reject. So once he approve, then only on the basis of the prepared work, the audit will be started. So in this execution phase, especially the auditors will be coming into picture. They will use the like working paper. They will create a working papers, and then they will review the findings. And if everything is correct, then pass the audit. And if they find something, they will keep in the finding state. And after that, they will assign these findings to the respective people who has to work on that and overcome these findings. So that is like a follow-up steps there after that. And after follow-up, then the last step is like audit report. So then audit report will be released, and after that, your audit process close. So these are 5 phases are there in a audit management, and all these 5 phases we are including into the system. Okay, so that is the core idea behind it. So in that, many other phases are there, small. Like my ongoing audit, you can find the ongoing audit, prepare audit, you can prepare the audit. So, so these different steps will be there. So that will be configuring to the system. And currently for audit management, like 1.6 is the current version is there. So in this audit management, everything now moved to the Fiori. Previously, it was only in the transaction code level, but now in the current version, everything moved to the Fiori. So if you want to configure anything, you have to go to the Fiori tiles and configure all the things. Like here, audit engagement, audit follow-up. So those many like Fiori groups is will be available to you, and then using that each of the Fiori tiles, you can uh, process here all the 5 phases. All right. So any question? So like in the work program, you can see like a basis configuration, and then if you say like client setting, RFC settings, in the customization, one-time vendor setting, authorization, check, SOD conflict. So these are like your work programs is there. Within a work program, you can add the working paper like client settings are there. So how to you can check the client settings. So there will be steps will be there. Go to the SCC one, see that client is open, a production client is open or not. So those are like working papers are there. Then if some everything is correct based on your working paper on this particular work program, that you can say that everything is passed. Otherwise, you can mention is a not a something is not followed, and some findings will be there. So for each of the specific scope items, you will define the working paper, and then based on this working paper, people will be using and finding the information, and then you can use for the reporting purpose, right? So this is just an example for you. So like in case if any person want to use for HR system audit, so this will become a auditable item for us. And within that HR system audit, different type of like items will be there that you have to uh, validate in the system. All right. Okay. So for each audit, you will mention the dates and timing also. So this will be idea as a naming convention. So ideally, we'll be using like HR system audit. So it's not that 1 year you did the audit and next year you don't have to do the audit, because it's ongoing activity. So every year you have to do the audit. So like as a naming, you can mention a year and then any number you can keep here so that you can understand this audit happened on this year, and that is the numbers. So any number you can decide the naming. All right. There are some attributes are there. You can define who will be in the audit team, who will be working as the audit manager, who will be working as the audit lead, who will be the auditor, who will be the chief auditor executive, any executive responsible you want to assign, or any custom executive you want to define. So those are the people who will be mainly involved in the audit process. Okay, for us, these are the specific end users in the audit management module. All right.
Vikas sir, this
Yeah.
I mean, basically this audit management is tracking all audit work. Is it correct? Earlier, we used to do this activity through mails, and we used to collect
Hmm.
the evidences in the Excel and Word document. But now
Right.
in the audit management, we will upload the documents as well. Suppose, okay,
C-
if we,
Correct.
if,
Correct.
hmm, okay.
Correct. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be a it will be going with the workflow also. So
Mm-hmm.
like the person, suppose the auditor will be there, so he will be knowing that okay, from this date to this date one audit will be starting, and the person who you are involving a contact point, they have to produce you the evidence. For
Mm-hmm.
example, like here, SCC1, take simple example here, only this one maybe, that will be technical one, like checking the RFC name, the naming convention, and the ID which you created is a system ID or not, right? So
Mm-hmm.
those will be validated. So like auditor will not be knowing the technical thing, correct? So what
Mm-hmm.
he will do, auditor will be going to your system administrator or security person, and then security person produces screenshots, right? Okay, this is
Mm-hmm.
our settings in production, and then you will upload, or he will upload actually in the system as a evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what will happen if tomorrow any external auditor is there? He will able to see that all the things, and then he will say that okay, everything is correct. Okay,
Okay.
so that process will be like streamlined into your system. So
Mm.
every year you can able to see that.
Okay.
So
There are.
so that will
That's,
help you. That
mm.
will help you to make your company compliance for specific laws, right? Like especially for the US company, if you say, so they have to every year do the audit based on their SOX laws, right? That
Mm.
is their compulsion. So the compulsion, if they are not using audit management module, everything what you said is correct. They have to do on the paper, correct? Paper,
Okay.
Excel, and everything, and they have to send to the
Mm.
system for approval. But if you have the audit management module, from that report you can able to produce that to the auditors, and then auditor will be approving that okay, it is audit is passed, is compliance. This organization is compliance for this audit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sir. Understood.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Anyone else? Any question? Achitya, anything from you? So this is how we can define the specific people like auditor, audit lead, and what kind of role can be assigned to them to make them the auditors. So some configuration we have to do here, and then in the application track ongoing audit, they can see how many audit is going on and who is the person who has to perform that. For example, here this audit is going on for HR system audit. The status is in execution. Who is doing that? Audit manager. Mark this one, and who is the audit lead. So you can track the audit, like who will be performing, who is trailing, when the audit has to perform. Okay, this audit will be planned for next quarter, and who is available person, right? So those things you can track easily, so that you are not going to miss that, and you are able to come close within the time frame, right? So and then the person like who is involved in that, they will track their activity. They can add their activities, what activity they are doing. So you can say update from the roles initiating the audit. So that activity you can perform, see that, okay, from where to where it is going, who did what. So person responsible, the procedures in the prepare audit phase, they have to put like a actual cost and actual effort. So one is the proposed cost is there, and then they have to keep the actual cost during the audit. Like if they suppose the 50 hours and the rate, if you fix like 50 hour and $50 per hour is there, so they will put the actual like effort, and based on that actual cost and actual effort will be calculated. Like 10 hour and 50 into 500 US dollar, right? Like that, that is also being captured. Right, so working paper wise, they can download the template and upload the template, that is also possible, or they can create the scope in the system directly. So both ways possible. Okay, so XLS you can utilize and upload that. Okay, so if you upload, this will be coming in this form. All right, so from here you can track it. If it is initiated, then where it is moving, it is waiting for approval. Once he approved, then it goes to the next step, right? This is like manually how you can define this audit items. So like that it will work, right? Maintain workload template, you can define these phases. Master data also you can define using your and like your Fiori application. You can define the organization hierarchy. You can define your different audit types, for example, assurance type of audit, consulting one, right? So different type of audits you can define. So there are different method for detection is there. So one is like question answer you can use. One is detection, directly go to the system and ask the evidence. You can test that, some of the testing thing, right? Different method you can use, different procedure you can use to validate your evidence, right? Those you can define. So this is like a first line, the basic one, and then like that we have many slides so that we can show you, and this will work in that manner. All right. So that's about a small demo. So any question by anyone? Anil, anything? Shyam?
No, because
Okay. Ireto, anything? Or Anji?
No, because yeah.
Okay, Shavad, anything? All okay? Yeah, so this is about like this audit management module. So it is something like uh, now companies start moving to this audit management module. So very less consultant is currently in the market. Okay, and currently, like recently, we have done one implementation for Witco, a Saudi company, Saudi government company. So that is also interesting one. So so that is about here. All right. So just have a let me know like if you want to register for this course so that we take your input and then just ping me, and we'll be starting from Thursday or Friday, coming Thursday or Friday, and timing will be like 10 to 11 p.m. in the night IST time, and we'll go for that. And you will be getting the server access also, either 1.5 version, most probably like it's looking like. So audit management 1.5 version that you get in the GRC 12. Okay, and the registration charge will be 5,000. Okay, so that's all for me, and thank you for joining. Let me know if you have final question. So otherwise, enjoy your
Thank you,
Sunday.
Vikas.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yes.